Display property. Display property is an important property in CSS that allows you to control the way your layout can be presented. Now, if you're aware, in HTML, you have two element types. Number one being the inline elements. Those are the elements that are rendered on the same line, such as the hyperlink element, the image element, or the span element. Similarly, you have block level elements. The block level elements consume the entirety of your width. So the containing element inside a container or a parent element is going to take up the 100% of the width of the parent. If the parent itself is the browser window or your mobile screen, definitely it is going to consume 100% of the screen width that is available to it. Now, to see this particular property in action, we are going to use 100% of our screen width. So I'm not going to use split windows as many times as I possible. We will be switching between them. Now, if you see, I have created this colorful layout over here. I've given some background dark blue color, so do not strain your eyes much. This is just a background color. And I've given some odd and weird colors to the background of different elements just to differentiate between them. I've declared a div element at top. First of all, it's a div element. Before that, I have actually declared an H2 type element, which is displaying the message CSS display property. Next, you have the paragraph element, which is also consuming 100% of the width, and it has a background pink color. Then there is a div, which is simply having an aqua color in the background. Then you also have this form element over here, which is consuming 100% of the width. And inside of the form, you have two elements, which are the input type elements that go inside a form. Please refer HTML if you don't know what these are. And they appear to be on the same line next to each other. Of course, after that, I've taken a horizontal line. And after that, I've just created a span and href property. So if I click here, it's going to take me to another page and an image, which appear to be on the same line. So let's play around with its styling features. So let's say we have this div at the top, at the top, the aqua color div, which is having a class myDiv. Before that, we have the paragraph, and before that, we have the h2 element. So let's apply some styling, which will transform our h2 element and our div element, and a paragraph element. So how about I declare a style which corresponds to my h2 tag and my p tag and play with the display property. So if I control the display, and mind it, there are many types of display properties that can be set, but let's take a look at the very two basic ones for now. So if I set it to inline, it automatically starts overlapping each other because they are being treated as if they were characters of an word or alphabets which are to be typed in to the document. Similarly, we can also use inline block. What inline block does is it only gives it the width that is available over here, and that consumes whatever width can be applied to here. Now, if I also try to apply some fixed width to my uh, paragraph, immediately my paragraph element also is displayed on the same line as my heading, meaning both of them have stopped behaving like as if they were block level elements. Now, if you also mark that I have mentioned it as an inline block, this is to make sure that they retain the qualities of a block, that is, they act like a box, okay, not act like an alphabet or a character to be displayed. That's why we have to provide inline block. If this property is changed to inline, this will behave odd as if this was an alphabetical character which is written one after the other. And that is why you see this overlapping remnant of the paragraph and it has become unreadable. So the moment I provide this inline block property, both of these items have lost its capability to be a block level element and have become an inline element. Similarly, I can do that to the div. Let's add the div in this style declaration. And we also have the div declared over here. Now there was no finite width given to the div, but the text inside, that is the content of the div, is controlling its width automatically. Similarly, we have form element. I can force the form element to also act like an inline character, inline element, but I'm not going to do that so that we are able to clearly understand what they do. Now, inside a form, definitely you've seen login forms before, and in this case, the login form appears a little weird. There's a username, there's a password right next to it, and we are more used to seeing both the form elements one below the other. Let's apply that property to it. So we have this form element, and inside of which there are inputs created. If we look closer, we have these inputs, and the input itself is declared inside the label. I'm going to simply apply a display block property, which basically turns them into elements that take up 100% of the width that is available to them. And they have automatically shifted to one below the other. And I did not have to set that by HTML settings or adding next line forcibly. Now let's also take a look at the elements below. We have H3. We have an HR element, which is a horizontal line below which I have a span and hyperlink, which takes me to the W3 org website and an image source. So we have an image over here, which I don't want to be on the same line. So how about I apply some styling to the image? I go back to the image style declaration. I'm going to set its display property as block, and automatically the image goes down to the next level. Same thing can be applied to a span and my anchor. So my span and anchor tag, and they behave like blocks. So CSS allows you to interchange this base property of displaying the items. You can also display them in many other different formats, which we are going to explore when we learn about flex or grid.